Hi, I'm Angela Russell with Accel Financial Staffing. I'm a recruiting coordinator there, and today I'm going to give you tips on how to be successful during the interview process. First, you want to arrive early. Definitely make sure you're on time. I would say 30 minutes is too early to arrive to an interview, but 10 minutes would be perfect. Be mindful of the interviewer's time, so arrive early. Give a firm handshake. You don't want a handshake that's going to squeeze the life of the person that you're meeting, and you don't want a handshake that's too delicate. You want it just in between, just firm enough to show that you're confident. Practice that with your family, your friends, maybe even a spouse, but definitely practice your handshake. Turn off your cell phone. You don't want any distractions during the interview process. Bring pen and paper to the interview for note-taking. It shows that you are ready to take any notes, whether it's during the interview or your first day at the job. Stay calm and be honest. If you're a little nervous, take a deep breath before you go into the interview, and definitely be honest during that process. We don't want to find out later that on your resume or something you stated during the interview is not correct. Stay positive and refrain from bashing your past employer. Regardless of what happened between you and your past employer, you don't need to state that in a negative light during your interview. It shows that maybe you may bash them later on down the line. So stay positive. You don't need to give a whole bunch of information during your interview. Make eye contact when you're talking and while they're talking to you. That's really important. They need to know that you have their undivided attention. Now, salaries. This is a big question. A lot of people want to know, how much do I ask for? Research that online. There's tons of information about the position I'm sure that you want to apply for, so research it and make sure it's within your geographical area. Of course, someone that lives in New York is not going to get paid for the same position in Oklahoma, so make sure it's in your geographical area. But only discuss the salaries if you're asked or during your second interview. It just shows a bad light if you do it during your first interview. So just hold on to that information unless you're asked until the second interview. Have goals and accomplishments and be prepared to discuss those. If you're not sure where you want to be in 10 years, maybe have a small goal in the next year or so. And be ready to answer those questions, because you just never know when they may ask that. And speaking of interview questions, you want to research that online. There's tons of information, and then practice answering those questions with a friend or a spouse or a family member. Be prepared. And then lastly, follow up after your interview with a thank you note or an email. I had one time I was at a career fair, and I had a young lady to come up to me and introduced herself. She gave me her resume. I enjoyed meeting with her. She left about 30 minutes later, came back, and handed me a thank you note. Do you think that I brought her in for an appointment? I sure did. So I'm not saying that you have to do that at the career fair, but maybe after the interview process, just follow up with a nice email or a nice thank you note. I'm Angela Russell with Accel Financial Staffing. Thank you.